Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Hardcore Podcast, your go-to dance podcast for open and honest conversations in the industry. In this podcast, we dive deep into dancers' lives and experiences during their career and into other careers as well. From group interviews to solo conversations, no topic will go untouched in this podcast. And if you're interested in staying up to date with everything that is going on with the podcast, you can follow us on Instagram at _hardcore, which is HARDCORPS_podcast for all updates regarding episodes. And if you ever want to contribute to an episode or message me or have any questions, that is your place to go. I hope you enjoy the episode. Bye. Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Hardcore Podcast. We've got a very special guest on today, Luna Montana. This is so exciting.
I'm so happy to be here.
Before we get into the quick fire round, just want to say a quick thank you to Imperfect Points for sponsoring this episode. For those that haven't heard of Imperfect Points is a British sustainably made dancewear company based right here in the UK. And I'm very excited to partner with them because I really think they believe in what I believe in, which is that it's okay to be imperfect and it's all about embracing your imperfections and essentially finding who you are and accepting that and championing that. So I'm very excited for them to partner with this episode. And if you stay to the end, there is a cheeky discount code for your next purchase. For those that have listened to it before, I've worked with them before, so I'm very excited to continue spreading the imperfect vibe of loving who you are and accepting everything as you come. And I feel like that will really tie well into this episode because I feel like that really sits on your train as well.
Definitely.
Beautiful. So let's get into the quick fire round. First of all is, what does your training or movement look for you at the moment?
Well, it's post Nutcracker, so it's not as intense and definitely took time off the last 2 weeks. But getting into the new year, I want to prioritize, obviously. I probably do right now maybe 2 or 3 ballet classes a week, and then I do Pilates 3 times a week as well. So not too rigorous, not too low, just like moving my body and feeling motivated.
Beautiful. Lovely. I'd love to hear about, later we can talk about it, is like how that changes when you do have shows coming up and what your routine looks like and how you approach that. But we can get into that. What is your favorite piece of dancewear?
I'm a leg warmers girl. I'm always warmers.
Give me specifics, like color, brand?
I mean, I'm always pink, always more of a neutral.
Okay.
And I would say probably something coming soon that you guys can maybe buy that I'm working on is my favorite leg warmer.
Okay, that's exciting.
Had to play.
I love that. And what is your favorite piece of choreography or choreographer? You can be more than one.
Yeah, I'm not being very quick fire. I'm sorry. I'm
no, that's okay.
Elaborating. I love Balanchine. I love a lot of his ballets.
Mm-hmm.
I truthfully love his Dewdrop choreography.
No, yes.
I think that it's just perfect.
Yeah.
I love
Time Heck. Doing that.
Yes. I know. It's so good. That's a dream. I love Who Cares. I love Emeralds. I like all his ballets, honestly.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I agree. I love Balanchine as well. Yeah. And I feel like some people love to cancel the idea of Balanchine, and I'm just like, no, but the work. Take a moment to remember the work.
No, seriously.
Yeah, we'll move on. What is your favorite food?
I mean, I love pasta. Mm-hmm. I like that pasta bolognese will always hit for me. That's my favorite food.
Beautiful. What's yours? I wasn't ready. I love sushi, or I feel like that's like a comfort food.
Yeah, sushi is actually
well, it's just delicious. And I love the seaweed salad, the wakame salad as well, like the seaweed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that.
That's a good choice.
Or Vietnamese, like a pho.
Now I'm hungry.
Yeah, no, same. That's what I want to do. And last question, which is, what is your favourite way to switch off or practice self-care?
I do love a good bath.
Mm-hmm.
I do. And then I just like to do some other activity that takes my brain off things. So I love to craft, like
Yeah.
crochet or paint
Beautiful.
or draw or color.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's good to, you need to take the brain to another place.
definitely. I like fidgeting with my hands on like
Yeah. No, I
things.
feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go into the main bulk of the questions, which, so starting off, do you remember when you kind of like what made you first want to start doing ballet? Like, do you have a specific memory? Is there a funny story? Like, I'm interested.
I don't really remember because I was so young. I was
Hmm.
3, but I know that my older sister, she's 6 years older than me, she
Hmm.
did ballet, and so she would come home from class and she would come home from class and she would just show me all these moves or, I don't know. She just loved, I was like her little doll, and I was so interested in it because this is my older sister who's interested in this.
Yeah.
And she didn't really stick with it, but yeah, I loved it. Apparently, my parents just put me in class,
Yeah.
and yeah, I just think it stuck for me, which is, it doesn't stick for a lot of kids because it's
No.
hard when you have so much energy to be like, let me be quiet, not talk for an hour.
Ah. And the drop rate is pretty big, like for ballet. Like, if you look at the intake at like between the ages of 3 and 5, and then like people that are
Yes,
still in the studio at 16,
totally. I know,
like,
it's crazy.
mm,
I know it's always the classic when you talk to people and like I say I do ballet. It's like I used to do ballet and I'm
yeah,
like, oh yeah,
like,
really?
shut.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like come
well,
on,
you don't
I
know.
do ballet.
Yeah, you don't know the pain.
Yeah, you don't get it.
No, well, they don't. And then, so did you train professionally? I feel like I should know this as someone that's like watched YouTubes for so
No,
many.
that's okay. No, I know. I didn't ever train professionally. So
Okay,
in high school, I was in like the pre-professional program there, and
yeah,
then I went to all the summer intensives. I went to Boston,
beautiful.
Miami, SAB, and then no, I chose not to
No.
have a professional career.
Can I ask why you didn't choose to go into it?
Yeah. I started my YouTube channel when I was about 13 years
Hmm.
old, and
Yeah.
then when I was about like a junior in high school,
Hmm.
it took off for me. I was making videos like what a teen ballerina eats in a day, or how I
Mm.
deal with body hair, or just like all these niche topics about ballet.
I
And
remember.
yeah.
I've been around.
Okay, so you know.
Yeah.
And that obviously blew up for me, and then I started to
Mhm.
get brand deals, and I started to see like this income, and I got signed to a management. And by the time I was a senior in high school, I was just kind of over ballet. I was like, I don't want
Mhm.
to be in these classes. It just felt so forced, like I had to do it.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
And again, I was just still struggling with my body. I was like, oh,
Hmm.
I like this other world that I'm in right now that like, you know, I just didn't want.
Well,
I was
you're
like,
getting
oh,
like, you can see, I guess I say the fruits of your labor, but you can see, you put in the work, you create videos, you're posting content, and you can see the rewards, and you're getting the rewards, not just like, it's like, oh, I've got to put all this work in now and then I'm going to see it in 10 years, but you're kind of seeing it quite soon.
totally. Yeah. Yeah, and it also included all the things like I loved about ballet, or like showing my
Hmm.
life, or showing point shoes, this, that, but
Hmm.
without I don't know, the struggle and the hardship. And I also knew
Side.
like, yeah, I knew from a young age that I never had like that burning passion where I was in the studio all day working so
Okay.
hard for this one thing. Like I never saw myself like, oh, this is my path, is I'm gonna be a professional ballerina and I'm gonna go down this
Yeah.
road. Like I don't know, that didn't seem right for me at the time. So and I was like, I'm quitting ballet. I made this whole thing when I was a senior. I was like, this
Hmm.
is my last performance ever. And then,
Hmm.
I have to go through my healing journey, which we can talk
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
later, to fall in love with it all over again.
Yeah.
Professional career for me.
Wow. No, so, but I think what's so beautiful about that is that, like, I know a lot of people that, like, everyone's journey is so different, but to, like, leave ballet or even, like, slightly disconnect yourself from it, but still be, like, so involved in it, I think is great because, like, I've seen you say, like, on the internet before, is you're wanting to, like, you love ballet, you love it, but that doesn't, you can still love it and not want to, like, feel the need to go all the way to the end, or like push yourself to go all the way to the end. You can still enjoy doing it.
For sure.
Yeah. Which is
not everything that like, well, I mean, they always do say your passion shouldn't be the way that you make money. Like ideally in a perfect world.
Well,
all things be separate. Because the minute that thing becomes the way your job and the way that you make a living, that's when it kind of turns into something not great, you know?
Well, absolutely. But the thing is, like, unfortunately, like there are a lot of dancers out there that, you know, it starts off as that burning passion. It becomes their full job. It could end up working in a company that, I mean, we know what it's like in America.
It's so
and parts of Europe, everywhere. But like your reality is not getting paid a lot becomes just a job, and people stay in the company and stay in that system for a means of survival because that's how the rent's being paid.
Yeah. It's definitely not the most attractive line of work, you know.
Yeah. And it's hard to
how much you give. There's not much.
Yeah. No. Well, exactly. And that's like, you have to weigh that up. But I think it's like the fact that you're like still performing and you're actively like involved in not just like the viewing side of ballet, but actually like you're still going to class, you're still performing. Like I'm like, yes.
Yeah, I know. I feel like I have the best outcome possible, which I feel like, I'm very, very grateful.
Yeah, which is, amazing. So that kind of carries me into my next point, which is, at what point did social media change from fun to business? Mm-hmm. And I guess part of that might have been the realization that you knew you could make money from it.
Totally.
But does it still remain fun to you?
Yeah, so I feel like that was a little bit of a struggle because when I was, you know, my YouTube channel took off, all the content that did well for me was ballet based. So then when I graduated and I was like, I'm quitting ballet, I'm done, then along with my identity, you know, like something that so personal to me that I'm giving up, it also affected the way that my views went, and people only wanted to see that ballet content from me. And so I had this whole identity crisis of like, okay, well, who am I without this? I can't even make my job with, like, you know, content. People aren't really interested in my normal life, like how, and so I would force myself to go into class or like make these videos, and I really didn't love it, you know, like I had to go through my process of healing from everything that I felt and like have that want to go back into the studio, which I didn't have. So I feel like then maybe it didn't feel as fun to me, the work side of it. And of course, like things are going to be hard and you have to figure that out. But I feel like now I'm just so grateful because I truly feel like I dance to make good content out of it, you know? Like I get so happy when I make a video that reaches somebody or make a good TikTok. Like I do actually love my job now. Yeah. It took a while to do that, to get there.
Okay. Interesting. So it kind of like do you feel like it's got better? Like you've fallen more in love with that process as you've gotten older?
Yes, definitely. Because it doesn't feel like I have to do it. Like it's, you know, I have other personalities and identities and, but now I genuinely want to go in the studio and I want to make ballet content. When in the past it was like, I have to go do that because that's my niche and that's my identity. So sorry, you have to do it, you know?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because that must be, I mean, I don't want to move out of ballet yet, but like I always think about like, like it's such a big part of my identity. And I think a lot of dancers struggle with tying ballet to the identity. Like it's like, oh, I'm the dancer. I'm the ballet dancer.
Yeah.
Like, how did you untie that? How did you like try and separate it and see your worth as it is, as you?
Totally. Well, I feel like for many people that I know that were dancers, all my dance friends, we didn't really have a life in high school. Like I would go to school probably till 10. I didn't really know anyone. I didn't talk to boys. I just went to ballet all day. That was my whole life. So that's all I really knew. And I only know my dance friends. And I think after high school, that was when I had my first kiss and I like started going out and you know, finally got to live those teen years that like so many people go through that development early, which like I went through this different development of having this discipline and like falling in love with this craft. And like, obviously that's its own thing that people develop much later in college that we have so early. But there's also a whole other side of I have to go through these things and I have to let loose and let go. And like, I think only until I could get that all out of my system do I realize like, okay, I can come back to my identity of what I like, and ballet is always going to be part of me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think you just have to kind of go through those things, go through all the stages of life, even though it's tough.
Yeah. Well, no, but it's so true. You do, and I think a lot of dancers struggle with that when either retiring or like I say retiring, just changing career, having a little career move. Like I think that's something that a lot of people struggle with because it's just so like ingrained. And I think I can imagine for you it being tied to not even just like yourself offline but online as well.
Yeah, totally. And I think also, it takes so much training. It takes, if you really, really want to be good at it and be a professional in high school, you probably leave your house when you're like, I don't know, 14, you move away, and you like commit your whole life to this one thing. So I think my biggest advice is obviously to find who you are outside of ballet. Do not make it your whole entire world, because I feel like that's when it can get really rough. Like always find stuff. Like I feel like, again, I didn't have that burning passion for it where I was in the studio like I was very casual, whatever. Like I didn't really care that much. I loved fashion, I loved makeup, like you find other interests too, so that it's not your whole entire personality.
Yeah. How do you balance that now? Like after kind of going through that all, and like do you find yourself like it's easy to feel the balance, or do you go through moments where you're like, oh, I want to lock in and it takes over your brain? I don't know if that's just
No, I do. I find it easy. I think with what I do now, with my content, normally it surrounds like if I'm getting ready for a show. So specifically, I know at the end of the year, summer ends and I lock in for Nutcracker, and I get so excited for that time because I know the content that I can make from that. I know the journey I'm about to endure, and like I always feel the happiest and healthiest because I'm moving my body every day and I'm like falling in love with this thing again at the end of the year. But so I'm curious to see, like so far when I was in Nutcracker, obviously I had tough days, but I didn't go to the studio and be like, I fucking hated that. Sorry.
Yeah. That's okay.
I didn't go into the studio and be like, I hated that day, I never want to do this again. Like every time I went, I was like, oh, I just want to go back and work on things, which I never really, I don't know, that was a new drive for me. So I'm curious to see now if I'm dancing all year, how it's going to be.
Interesting. Yeah. Because that's difficult to, like, because sometimes, you'll have those days, but, like, great to hear that that's kind of had a shift. Like, it's almost like your brain can recognize it's like, this is really hard, but that's okay, and I'm going to, like, take this, and this is a challenge for me, rather than thinking,
totally,
I can't do this. Yeah.
It's all maturity. It really is. It just comes with time.
Yeah. Beautiful. I want to talk about your openness about body image, and I guess like the struggles that you have and have had with ballet, because I feel like that's such a key part of your content, and it's like a key part of the conversation that you have online, which I think is great. And it really helped me when I was in school, just like seeing people that were like my age. I don't know how old are you 20? How old are you?
I'm turning 20 this week.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm 25. It's the same. They're the same year, basically. And I always felt that no one was talking about these conversations, which is why I started the podcast, because I genuinely think like you were one of the only people that was like talking about body image and the struggles that dancers felt when they looked in the mirror, and that whole process of kind of feeling like you're not enough and comparing yourself to everyone else. And when did you first become aware that you were like, I guess, struggling in the body dysmorphia department?
So when I was 13, my parents had gotten divorced, and my mom and I moved to New York. I think she just kind of wanted to get away, and it was a very transformative time for me. But I went to a public school for dance there called Ballet Tech, and classic that age is when you start hitting puberty, and like for me that went all in my hips and all in my thighs, and I just remember like so vividly writing in my notebook every single day about how upset I was that I didn't look like the other girls, or like what is happening with my hips, and I just hated looking at myself, and we weren't allowed to wear skirts or anything, and I just so vividly remember. But I lived alone with my mom, who was struggling as well with her divorce, and she always so much about how you look at yourself is how your mom looks at herself. So I think that always affected me, because My mom's a unicorn. She's the most beautiful woman, but I'm watching her my whole life put herself down. So to me, like, how does that, my standard of beauty and how that works, and she works in fashion and she knows ballet. So if it ever were a thing of like, Mom, I'm fat or this and that, she's like, okay, well, let's fix it. Let's fix it. Let's do this. Let's do that. Like, it was never a perfect, honey. Like, but again, I don't blame her. It's all part of my development. We have conversations about it all the time, but it's just a hard situation. And when I was 13, I would be at this ballet school all day, and then I'd come home and go to like the home gym, and I'd be like, okay, today's a good day. I only ate like one avocado, there's just all these things when you're so young. All I wanted to be was the Victoria's Secret Angels. I was obsessed with them too.
Same.
Like, you know what I mean? It's just
I know, like Victoria's Secret circa 2014.
Yes.
Tumblr as well was not helpful.
No, it was not.
You know, but that's all I'm going to say. I think it's hard. I think the standards of beauty, especially in like the from the 90s, like, look, all of time. Right. But I think there's definitely been certain points where maybe I feel we're kind of seeing it again. Is that it's not even just in ballet, like it's the standard of female beauty, which is for most of the time very unattainable. And like whether you see it in the studio or whether you see it out on the street, there's an ideal.
Always. And you can't really win because they're two different ideals. Like,
for real.
We want a butt and we want boobs, and then you go to ballet and you want to be like nothing. Nothing. So it's like, shit, you can't win.
No, you can't win. You can't win. Yeah, I always found that so weird at school because girls would be in ballet and it's like complaining about boobs and bum. And then we're going out and it's like, oh, does my bum looks too small in this? And I'm just like, guys, can't win.
I know. It's crazy. I'm like, I don't want boobs.
Yeah, it's very odd.
It is really crazy.
But I relate, like I really get that, and I think a lot of people listening will understand that because it's, I think, pretty universal.
Yeah.
Yeah. What made you feel comfortable sharing that online though? Because that takes a lot of kind of strength, and you're really opening your heart, like it's on the sleeve.
Yeah. Okay, so it kind of started so I had my YouTube channel, and then I was a senior in high school, and my mom would travel, so I was alone basically in this apartment, and I was doing Snow Queen that year, and the other Snow Queen, she had this like perfect ballet body. She got her Fouettés, still the fucking Fouettés.
We'll get
10 years later, still the trauma. But she would do them every time, and I was just like comparing myself so hard to this girl.
Yeah.
And I got home and I was alone and I was just crying. And I called my sister and I was like, just really down in the dumps. And then my sister, I don't know, she's just like the little momager to me. She was like, Luna, I have an idea. Why don't you just pick up your camera and record what you're going through right now? Because whether you post it or not, it's like a little journal. Like it's, just get it out. It's like therapy.
Yeah, you're vocalizing it.
Totally. And I did, and I ended up posting it, it was called I Hate My Body, and I was really, really just putting it all out there, like, truly. And I remember, because the next day I had to go into the theater for start tech on that, and all of my dance teachers had seen it, all of my friends had seen it, and I walked in, and I was just like, oh my god, like, this is crazy. They just saw me break down. Some of the teachers were very concerned, and, it was just a pretty crazy time, but overall, I remember looking at all the comments and seeing the response that it got, and I've never felt that type of community on the internet.
Yeah.
Where, there's so many people that felt the same way, and like if anything that I said helped them, it just like, I don't know, that was all I kind of needed to hear. Like I couldn't hear it from my mom, I couldn't hear it from my friends who also struggled in the same way. I had to hear it from so many people to like realize, okay, this is normal, and it made it so much better that we all struggle with this. And then part of me also is like this job that I've stumbled upon of being an influencer, like, okay, like we're selling this product. It can be so superficial. Like, what is the purpose of all this? What am I giving? And then all of a sudden I got this purpose of like, okay, I can be online and I can still make money in that way, but I can also have an impact and make people feel safe, and especially about their body. Like, oh my God, that's exactly what I needed growing up. So
yeah,
I was like, I'm gonna keep doing this. This feels amazing. Like, I
yeah,
get to help people.
yeah. I mean, it's like, it's amazing that like to be able to kind of voice it, because I think a lot of people struggle with talking about how those feelings feel.
Yeah.
How has that changed over the last like couple years?
How has what changed?
Like your relationship with your body?
Honestly, I've been pretty good. I think once you kind of go through puberty and you find a way that, you know, you balance your hormones, you enter your 20s, I feel like, you know, this isn't the same for a lot of people, but for me, I'm just so like appreciative of my body. But I also think, you know, things have leveled out. I'm not like, I remember days where I don't know, I'd come home and I would just like binge eat. I would eat this chocolate. And it was just such a struggle in my mind of like, oh no, I'm going to this party and there's gonna be cake and I'm gonna eat all of it. And like, there was just so many constant focus on food, always. And then, and I mean, also like growing up with my mom, and we lived in a very almond household where there's like no snacks, no nothing. So I'd go to my friend's house and it's like, do you feed your kid? Because I'm over there hiding in the pantry. Like, I just wanted crap, you know? But the second that I got my own place and I became an adult, now I just like I like have so much cookies and candy, and I don't even touch it because it's not even a thing to me anymore. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, or maybe I will. It doesn't even matter. It's not such a big
you know,
narrative.
there, and you know you have access to it when you'd like it.
Yes.
Rather than being that, like that whole scarcity mindset of like, no, I completely get, because I have struggled with that as well. And I think it's very common in ballet as well, that kind of like binge and restrict mentality, kind of form of eating disorder.
Yeah, it is. It's like a war.
Yeah, no, it is. It takes over your brain, and the food noise is very loud.
Always. Yeah. So I think once you get older and like, I don't know, it just also comes with maturity. And I know it sucks to say, because like I'll see high school students or at my studio or anybody struggling, and I'm like, God, I wish I could just shake them and tell them like it's gonna be okay, and you know, you just need to grow up and it's all gonna be fine. But I know how serious it is in your head. There's not really much people can say to get you out of it, you know? You just kind of have to, I don't know, you know, it's just so serious when you're young.
Yeah. Is there anything that you did in kind of that process of healing and kind of moving through that time in your life that like helped you?
Yeah. When I was a senior and I chose to like quit ballet, I remember my weight definitely fluctuated, and I think also at the time, and I don't know if this is like good advice or not, but again, I was in ballet. I never thought about boys or any type of romance in that way, or felt attractive in that way. And then when I got my first boyfriend, and I was like, again, that was also when my weight was fluctuating, and he just thought I was so beautiful. He like loved all these parts of me that I always hated, like all these womanly parts, you know? And again, obviously I wouldn't say just put all your worth on someone else ever, but it was such a, you know, you should always be in touch with your sexuality, and I feel like that's such a big part of maturity. So I think just seeing someone else appreciate these things that I always hated about myself, or like, you know, this wasn't such a big thing. Like my whole worth was never even conversation, you know? Like, I don't know. I think that was a very big part of my journey. And then just like seeing my body in all these different times, and seeing, again, like I made this TikTok recently where I was like, oh, how I felt when I was the skinniest that I was, and how sad I was and how depressed I was. And then, okay, once I've like gained a little bit of weight, like how joyful my life is. So I think you see yourself in all these stages, and you realize like where you should put your worth, and it's just not on your weight.
It shouldn't be on the body.
No.
Completely agree.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I had something in my brain and now it's gone. How, I'm interested, so like, because obviously you've been online now for over 10 years, that must feel crazy. Is it weird, like, there's so many videos of you on the internet, does that like mess with you sometimes, in the sense that, you know, like you're seen, because most people don't see themselves like on a phone when they're editing and see them like what they look like all the time.
Right.
Is that hard? Like, how do you find that difficult when you're like having to watch yourself over? Not that sounds really weird the way I said that.
No,
But like,
I know exactly what you mean.
Like it can send you.
Yeah.
Like, it's like when you're watching audition videos over and over again, you just start to question everything.
Okay. That's a whole different thing. That sucks. I don't think I could do that. I don't think I could do that now, genuinely. Like, actually, you just said that and my heart dropped.
I'm so sorry.
Oh my god, that was the worst. No, like an adagio audition video.
No, it's not for me. The legs at 90 degrees.
Is it for anyone? Like, no, I can't. So that's a different story. But
yeah,
now I feel like no. I mean, I've been doing it for so long that I'm just so used to like staring at my face and editing all day and like the way I talk, but I know, like, when I have my friends in my content or my mom when I'm editing near them, they're like, I can't hear my voice and I can't watch myself. Like,
just seeing how people are like that. They're like, I don't want to see anything or like hear anything.
No, that's not me, honestly. I've been very, I feel like I've just been doing it for too long. Like,
okay, you've kind of, no, I feel the same because everyone's always, I could never like be on I could never like have a podcast or I could never talk because I hate the through like hearing my own voice. And I was sat thinking today, I was like, so weird. I was like, but that embarrassment is the price of entry. Come on, guys.
Totally. And how do you feel now?
Fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm very like, my personality is like, I'm very like, like I don't take it. Like if I think my voice sounds weird, I'm like, well, it's my voice.
Totally.
People wouldn't listen to it otherwise.
That's definitely
it was that bad.
Why you're good at doing something like this is because you're not taking yourself so seriously. You're so afraid of how you show up to other people. It's like you can't have that level anymore.
No, exactly. I want to talk about Nutcracker season because I feel like this is like, well, it's a big part of your year and a big part of your content. And I was actually really excited to see that you went to Master Ballet Academy because I love Eva Nice. So I was like, I've had her on the podcast.
Amazing.
Yeah, like maybe a year ago. Saw her when she came to London, so shout out. So I actually love that you like love watching that process. Want to talk about the Fouettés because you like you said that they've been in your life for a while.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, that was a crazy experience.
Like, what was that experience like? Nutshell.
Well, I mean, I'm the same as all of you where like I followed all these Master Ballet Academy girls my whole entire life. Like in high school I've just been very aware of this studio and the dancers and like obviously I mean dance has so many parts to it, but like there's this technical part to it and these turns and tricks that are so impressive and you know obviously they specialize in that. I was always watching all these like you know Sophia Lucia doing all the turns or Julia
but they're technicians like that's absolutely
that was like my whole part of my dance culture growing up. So when I posted that I wanted to guest and then Eva reached out and was like, oh, well, why don't you submit to them? This would be such a good collab. And I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me? Like, that would be amazing for me. And just to make content there and travel there, like, what an opportunity to see what this is all about.
Yeah.
But it's also so funny because I feel like there's just this whole maybe it's not even unspoken, but there is a rivalry between Balanchine, Vaganova, all these techniques, what's right, what's wrong, who has the most artistry, is ballet only about these tricks, like, you know, there's just this whole...
Everyone has an opinion.
Oh my God. Everyone has an opinion, and even with my friends or people now when we talk about these things, it's like, oh, well, they don't have artistry, or, you know, it's too much, they don't have technique, or, you know, there's just constant debate because...
Always.
Ballerinas just love to argue.
We do,
about the same things. Yeah. But I would consider myself a Balanchine dancer. And I remember when I was growing up, I was just very much into it. I was very part of that kind of movement of like, I hate technique. Because I never had these perfect things. I was like, the God, this sucks. Like, they're boring. All these, you know, I had this whole entire narrative in my head. And then now when I was giving this opportunity, I'm like, what? How cool that I get to go and see another technique. I can see, you know, the pros and cons of both and like how cool to have this opportunity. So of course I took it and it was just so interesting to see. And I mean, I documented all of it, but it is so crazy. Like, yeah, some people like are so beautiful at this one thing, and it's so cool to see this technique, and like you watch these perfect dancers, and then some people, you know, they don't have that and they have this performance quality. So it's just cool to like bring that there, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah, I can imagine. Like as I'm sure lots of people enjoy the vlogs. But what was the hardest, like, what was the hardest part of that experience for you?
You know, I've been so comfortable in my comfort zone since I refound my love for ballet. Like, I'm at my home studio, I do the same part of Arabian for like now 5th year. Like, I go into my studio, I'm not getting corrections by anyone because that's just like I'm a guest, and I, yeah, I just, but that also was hard last year when I chose to do the Snow Queen because it's all self motivated and self critiquing, and I never had like someone be like, okay, you need to do this differently, you need to do this, you need to train this. Like, I didn't have that since I was in high school. So I think choosing to do this year, I'm like, I really need to just put myself out there, which I haven't done because I'm so in my comfort zone. And you know, the minute I go there, just even the fact that I had to like, without much training, like I wasn't in the best of shape to like just go in front of Swavamir and do it. Like, you know, there's no
That's scary.
terrifying. Like, I never
Would
thought
be terrified.
to do something like that because I'm so in my comfort zone. And even like, okay, you're gonna sit there and oh yeah, have these kids come watch. Like, everyone's gonna sit and watch you right now. And like, to have that level of okay, no fear, let me just do this, was something that was so scary to me. Like, just even being a Vagan of a class for the first time, and like, oh my god, I was thinking about all these things. My turnout, they're all gonna hate me, they're all gonna judge me. Like, what happens? We're going across the floor and we're all doing turns, and like, oh my god, you know. And then you go and you get used to it, and like, I'm so proud of myself that I put myself in a situation like that, especially since, you know, the studio is a lot about turns, and that's like the one thing I really struggle with. So I'm like, shit, good on me for doing that.
Yeah, but that's like, I think like to do that and put yourself in a place that feels so uncomfortable and so like, I guess, not normal in that sense. I mean, a ballet class is also a ballet class. So it's got that feeling of like, I'm in a ballet class, which I do all the time, but technique is different. The environment is different. To do that, like, yeah, that requires a lot of bravery.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's scary. I feel that.
So scary.
Were you quite hyper aware, like being as someone that posts on social media? And I know like a lot of the kids, like Eva films them, they're all kind of on TikTok, they're online. Was that weird to go in an environment where like you kind of, like they probably all knew you were coming and it's like, oh, it's Lena Montana.
Yeah.
Like, did it feel that, or did you feel like really comfortable and you're like, oh, hey?
You know, no, I definitely go in there and I'm like, oh my god, what if they do watch me, and what if now I have to really impress right now, you know?
Like, did you, that feel like that you had to like...
I feel that everywhere I go. Like, even if I go to a freelance ballet class, I'm like, okay, well, there's only so many ballet creators, and you're in this world. I'm sure my videos have probably popped up for you on TikTok, like, and even when I take like an open class in LA, I'm like, oh, I really need to show up for these people. Like, what if they think I'm terrible and they're gonna go talk shit about me now? Like, and then, I don't know, I went in this situation, I was like, honestly, I'm just not there to impress with my technique. That's just not my vibe. Like, but if we have a conversation together, like, I just want them to think, oh, she is such a nice girl. She is who she is online, and like, she can be very authentic with me now. Like, that means more to me. I would never want them to think this girl sucks. Like, you know, who cares? Technique wise, we're all just doing ballet. It's not that serious, you know? Yeah. So just have to get out of my head.
No, I agree. Yeah. How, like, is that something that you've had to work on, that kind of feeling of, I guess, like getting out of your head and not worrying so much what other people think of you?
Oh my gosh, definitely. And like, I don't know, every time I go through whatever happens on the internet, if people are talking about a certain thing, and especially with this whole, which we'll get into, but I mean, it all toughens you up. It sucks, and like, obviously no one should ever have to deal with that, but if I choose to be in the public eye, like, it's good to have these things happen, because then it just, you know, you go through this whole thing in your head, and then you just realize what you really offer and like who you are as a person. And I know I'm a good person, and I know like what I offer, and I can be authentic and have a conversation, and that's so much more to me than people commenting on technique or this or that. So again, it's just like really getting to know yourself and being proud of yourself is most important.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there like any things that you do like in a day-to-day, like that are part of your routine, or that you've just, I don't know, that you do to remind yourself of that? Because I think a lot of dancers like feel that, I mean, comparison is huge. Like I feel like that's something I'm always having to remind myself not to do.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like I feel very aware as someone that's had to like think a lot about not letting other people's opinions in the sense of like judgment and thinking, oh, what do they think of me, get in my way. Is that some, like, what do you do like in a day-to-day sense? Like, or do you just like suck it up and go, yeah?
Yeah, I think again, it's just knowing who you are at your core. So I think spending time with family, and I'm with family all day, and like that is so who I am, and I'm like interacting with them, and again I have that confidence in my own life where it's like people can say stuff about me, but I truly know on the inside that I'm a good person. So like I'm so strong in my sense of self. I think you just need to like have that life where it's like you're not on your phone all day looking at comments, you're not like so in it that becomes you.
Okay, so you like you kind of like don't interact. Like, well, no, you interact, but like
I will, but
you're
like,
not out here like hunting for
like
hate
Reddit,
to be, and like
I can't go on Reddit. That's where I draw my line.
No, I fear for that place.
Bad on there.
Yeah, but like, so yeah, going into then, I guess what's like the stuff that is, I guess, the discourse. I can't believe that that's like a thing, that like people just like the idea that people have an opinion that they feel they need to share that's not particularly positive. And I don't like, because I know you addressed a couple things on TikTok, and I had seen like, I think a couple days before, someone like talking about the Fouettés and saying like, you know, don't know why it's such a big deal. My initial reaction before I seen your like kind of reaction to that, I guess, or like talking about your Fouetté journey, is that I was sat there thinking, I can tell you for free, not every ballet company member in every ballet company all over the world can do those Fouettés.
I know.
Let's think back here. Let's think bigger picture.
It's crazy.
I'm shocked.
It's just so funny that this has become like such a thing. I just think it's hilarious. Like, why? I did it to myself. I get it. But like the fact that I'm now drawn, like even all these ballet influencers now are like, oh, into the new year working on Fouettés. I'm like, okay. And then
it's like that trend.
The top search bars, Luna Montana failed Fouettés. I'm like, okay, now I'm tied into this stupid move. Like, but I did it to myself.
You know what? It's good engagement.
Listen, that is what I've learned from everything. I'm like, keep talking about me. Give me this money.
Keep it going.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, I agree.
Thank you for the engagement.
Yeah. And look, like that, and that must be weird because it's a whole weird thing that hate can, well, I guess hate, discourse, opinions that aren't always positive, like, that can be the most lucrative, like, content.
It is. I mean, that's just all.
And it is, and like, but they don't know that. And I always laugh. I'm reading the comment. I'm like, you guys have no idea.
I know. And like, I do know that too. That's also what's gotten me through this whole process because, you know, listen, at the end of the day, we're human. We work on this one thing. I worked on it for so long and I nailed it in every single rehearsal. I mean, you'll see it all in the vlog, which hopefully is coming soon.
Okay.
Can't wait. Stupid vlog anymore. I'm like, I will go nuts if I hear this Spanish music one more time. Like, I can't listen to Nutcracker anymore.
But that's a hard version of Spanish. That's the other thing. You guys are not, like, I went and saw EMB's Nutcracker. Guys, it's not on the same level. Like, this is what I wish TikTok, the people that love to have discourse and comment on, like, ballet created. I'm like, have you seen a ballet in the flesh? Probs not.
No, they haven't.
Have you ever tried to point your foot?
Yeah.
Probably not.
No, it's crazy.
You're not qualified to have an opinion. I'm really sorry.
They're not. Like, they know so here's also what I like was talking to myself about is like there was one girl that commented on the when I posted like, oh, I finally got my Fouettés, and then she was like, but you didn't though, and you're not a professional, and you should never be hired because you didn't do 16. I'm like, again, I'm so confused because no, I didn't end in a double. Again, you'll see. Does that mean I didn't do my Fouettés? I didn't know that means I didn't do my Fouettés. That news to me.
Oh, that's news to me that's
right?
how you...
like,
girl, do you have to finish in a double, pull into a double?
But this girl, you know, she gets thousands of likes on her comment. I clicked on her bio, it said, stay kind to others. I'm like,
oh, please. That's always it.
Yeah, for sure. And then she's all day, like I'm getting notifications all day, this girl. It's 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there after she's replying. And she feels like the problem with people is that they want to feel what I'm feeling, which is I'm getting this praise and I'm getting this attention and I'm, you know, I feel this level of fame, I guess, and they want to feel that. And how can they feel that? The only thing that you can offer is the only time people care about you is when you're talking about me. Sorry. Like, feel this fame for the day of like getting likes on your comment, but like,
and that's like the least, like, cool. What did you cut?
And then she's like, well, I did 45 Fouettés on stage once. I'm like,
oh, but who needs to do 45? Unnecessary.
Go to a company, but like with your digital footprint and your energy, you're not getting anywhere. Like, you know, I'm like, what's the...
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's it.
I know.
No, that's it. This is when, but like, I just think there's this like delusion of, I don't know, I feel like I've noticed it because I'm in like through audition season and like going to take class with different companies all over is like realizing that what we see online in terms of like whether it be quantity of turns and Fouettés, height of leg, you know, the things like roll through, suspension, like that is a moment in time that's been captured on camera. Beautiful. The dancer, you can be like, oh my God, like they're stunning because the way they've done it.
Yeah.
Not necessarily because of the quantity of what they're doing.
Exactly.
But it's weird because like I'll go to all these places, like I'll go to places and I'm like, I think in my head growing up, I always assumed that like to be a professional dancer, you needed to have X, Y, Z. And there is like, you know, there's a standard, but it's not like you have to do 32 Fouettés. Every time you do a Fouetté, you have to pull into a double, or every time you go for a pirouette from the corner has to be at least 5. No one's doing that.
No.
No one's doing that.
No one's doing that. And
it really frustrates me.
Especially, you know? Yeah. And I do also get it because we all have preference. Like, I have a favorite ballerina. My friend's favorite ballerina is different. And some people, again, it's like music. Like, you might like...
Of course.
Her, and I might like, I don't know, Bob Dylan or whatever. Like, you know, like some people like the art of music. It's all an art form. So some people like someone that's technically perfect, someone that likes someone that's a performer maybe doesn't, you know, have the perfect. So it's all just preference. So I think I understand. Like, you can't get too serious. Everyone has their own favorite dancer, you know?
That's true. Whose is yours?
I'm a Tyler Peck girl always.
Yeah.
I just grew up watching her, and then every year I watch her do the same thing. She does my Sugar Plum, and every year it's different. She brings so much artistry to every movement she does. Like, I'm constantly entertained watching her. And it's not because she has the, you know, 180-degree penché, and it's not because of which that girl can turn, but like...
No, but it's not the thing. It's the magic.
It is. It's about how you feel when you watch her.
Yeah, and it's the way she does things. The way she plays with the music.
Oh, it's so entertaining.
It's just, you can't... I saw her for the first time because she came and did Tyler Peck and I think it was Tyler and Friends. Peck and She came to Sadler's Wells in London and did a little bill. I saw her do Forsyth Spa Project and a couple other things. Shocked.
She's so dynamic. It's crazy.
I genuinely think the best ballet I've seen, and I just came out and I thought, why are we not seeing more of this in the UK? Like, I'm hungry for more.
Yes, because it's constant.
It's not going to get any much.
Yeah, it's so fun. It's like to play with ballet like that. I love it.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
But like, and I think that is so interesting to see, like, to watch other dancers kind of do what they're good at and how that can be so different. Like, it's so different.
Everyone is so different. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I wonder if like social media has got, I don't know. I don't know if that's affected it.
I mean, I don't know either. It's hard because, again, the things that will go viral are these like crazy tricks and turns, or like, but also I don't care because that is bringing light to ballet, and that alone is making people want to come, or whether that be also the magic and the costumes and the idea of going to the ballet, all these things, which like people create different content all the time, and we got to bring light to ballet. So if it
I agree.
be those 20 turns that get people to go to the ballet, listen,
It's true.
sign me up. It's fun.
That's the thing. It's like bringing like ballet, like you said, it was a dying art, which I like agree and I fear.
Yeah.
But like that's why we need more people creating content in the industry and sharing, whether it be like everything from like basic like little day in the life to like, I don't know, just anything. I just think that like if we don't share it with the world, because everything is digital now, it just unfortunately kind of gets like a bit forgotten or lost. So I completely agree. I guess like whatever gets bums on seats,
That's what I'm saying. So yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy, but you got to do what you got to do.
Totally.
Interesting. Just had a thought. Do you, like, when it comes to like having an idea of how content does well and what does well versus not does well, how, like, I don't know, like, how do you approach content with the idea that like, well, you want it to do well? Or are you like very much like, I'm going to make something that I want to make? Or do you think about the factors of like, okay, how could this be viral? What's trending? What are people talking about? What keywords are people using? Like, what are people searching? Totally. Is that like, I'm interested from a content side?
It's definitely a mix. I think for me, so much of my brand is being very authentic to myself and like opening up and speaking. The more I speak and like really take from my own personal experience, I know it's going to mostly do well. Yeah. And then there's stuff that I just want to make. Like, oh, okay, I'm organizing my closet today and I just think that's so fun. Why don't I make, and maybe that's not going to do so well, but it's also like fun to me. So I think just finding a mixture and a balance between those, but trying to think if there's not many things that I'm like, people want me to do that I really don't want to do, that I do just for views.
Okay. I don't know. Like you don't feel like you feel the need to make content just for views because...
No, I just think... I think it's, most of the stuff that will get views are things that I'm wanting to share or a journey I'm going through. So but it was hard. Like I talk about it in my vlog. Now, like for this weekend of performances, the pressure of these Fouettés and how active and involved people were on this journey, and the that I have to go now on stage and I'm thinking about every single comment and what if I don't do them and this whole thing is shit and the content I'm gonna have to make next week. Like, I think so much about that, but I also know like this is why people are invested and it's all gonna be fine. Like this is a journey I'm sharing. It's like a movie and whatever happens, happens. But it's like when you have to go on stage and perform in front of all these people, it's definitely a lot of pressure.
Yeah, it's hard. How do you remind yourself in moments of that, of what you are good at, and like to not let that kind of quite overbearing, that's quite heavy thoughts.
Totally. I think, of course it's so easy to like dwell on the negative and think about this one piece of technique or this or that, but I know the magic that I offer when I perform is not about that. It's more just about like, again, my performance quality, which I can turn on at any time as long as I'm not in my head. So I think, the praise that I've gotten or the comments that I've gotten that it's like my performance quality and how I can like make the audience feel means so much to me. And like, I would never want to go on stage and, not bring that because I know that's my forte. So I think just focusing on that, and then I go out and see my family and they like, are so excited, or just like focusing on the good part about it, at the end of the day, I love to perform. It can't be so serious. Like, why would I put myself in this situation if I don't need to be, So
it's true.
Crazy.
I feel like this is kind of wrapping up to my final question. of the episode, which is, what was your biggest takeaway for 2025?
I think just like knowing, I'm 25 now, and like ballet in your head can have such an age limit of like improvement or working on things, but like truly at any age you can work on things and improve. Like I think for me that was also something I focused so much on this journey, regardless of the negative stuff, was like having my dance teachers just come to me and be like, oh my god, like what happened? Like this feels like a new dancer to me, like your technique has improved, your this has improved. Or like Mad Woo from SFB, she like messaged me and commented, and like to hear that I've improved from someone like that, like those are people that I really trust their opinion, and like I'm gonna take that, I'm gonna take that over anything. Like to hear that I've put in this work and it's being appreciated and seen by people that I respect, like that means the most to me over anything.
But that's the most important. Like it doesn't matter what user XYZ221 says.
Exactly.
Like we care what Mad Woo has to say.
Exactly. 100%. I will take her opinion every day.
Yeah, someone that has, but it's also like it's just a trained eye versus an untrained eye, and some people just love to say things for like the internet's a weird place, but I'm glad that I'm glad that like that you had a
definitely.
It wasn't just like kind of I guess the negatives or the weirdos, and
totally
you felt that.
Yeah, just knowing yourself, like sense of self, and knowing your strong suits is just like so important to not let these people get to you. You just can't. It's terrible.
No, agreed.
Crazy.
And what do you want to see more of in your life in 2026?
Ooh, I hope more improvement, like in a good balanced way, like just a way to balance my life all together. And like I feel like I really like I only want to continue what I already have started from Nutcracker. Like there's nothing really I need to change. Yeah.
Like we're locking in and we're continuing the progression.
Exactly. 45 Fouettés coming soon.
Coming soon, pending. Keep an eye out, everyone.
Again. Please never say this word to me again.
That's the end. That will be the end of it. And that's it. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Luna, for taking your time to chat about all of this.
I know. Thank you for your good questions. This was so nice.
I had so much fun, and yeah, I hope everyone listening enjoyed today's episode and enjoying back. The podcast is back, everyone. And thank you so much to Imperfect Points for sponsoring the episode. Your little code is HCP15. That's it. So you can get 15% off your Imperfect Points order, because we're embracing being imperfect, and we're embracing being ourselves and who we are. We don't have to be anything else other than that.
No, 100%.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.